pressing record now because this could get quite interesting from the get-go. So tell me about these salmon pink shorts, then, Stan.
Perfect.
They're a comfortable jersey, easy wear, salmon coloured short, and I have no issue whatsoever with wearing it.
Is this stage wear, or is it just?
It better not be stage wear.
Apparently, we yet to receive the memo, but there's probably one being penned about what we can and can't wear. The reason it got brought up is so we do the general, building the profile thing. So we'd have rehearsals, and it's who fancies photos. So we'll stand in there, do the rock pose, the arms folded, the thing, and every time they post it, because it's usually Mike or Neil that posts it, and it's like a moody black and white, good capture. The one I get involved in, we'll just walk past and click it, and it's like full eye, salmon shorts, full blazing colour. I'm like, that's not really the rock and roll look.
They need to know the real you, though, mate. That's what they need. They need the real you, not the edited version.
Well, I suppose there is that.
This is the Cyderbaby show. I'm talking to the Whiskey Syndicate. Hello, guys.
How you doing? You all right?
I'm all right. I know that creature in the top corner. Stan the man. Who are you? So introduce yourself.
My name is Mike Davis, guitarist in the Whiskey Syndicate, founding member, only two of us. Well, original founding member now. So yeah, we've just relaunching as the 2.0 version. And we're on a bit of a promotional drive, explaining what we're out to do and introducing the new characters of the band.
Character is a very good description of that fella. I love him to bits. Hello, Stan. How you doing?
I'm very well.
Good.
Very well.
You're looking very bright.
You what? Sorry.
You're looking very bright, sir.
I am bright, colourful, and cheery always. Makes a change to have clothes on, really, doesn't it? But
we're not getting into that.
Another Zoom call.
There you are.
Yes, my Facebook feed has not been the same since you've joined.
No, I keep trying to bring a bit of nudity into the Whiskey Syndicate, but at the minute they keep shelving every suggestion I make.
Yeah, putting more layers on, really, mate.
Have you tried hoodies as well, just to cover at the top half of them?
Well, we've got a new range of hoodies actually, so we'll be sporting one of those soon.
Oh, how well that went!
Seamless.
Brilliant.
All right then. So tell me about the Whiskey Syndicate. When did it start? How did it start?
So the Whiskey Syndicate originally started. I'm not too good on the dates, but it was early 2000. It was kind of a couple of mates getting together for the sort of ceremonial, let's have a jam, let's see what we can do. And it just went from there, really. Many sort of rehearsals and, trying to write our first EP, which took ages. And is it good enough? Can we gig it? Can we, trying to then get a gig as a new band, which was a nightmare because no one wants to sort of take the chance, and back then in early 2000s, there wasn't as much promotional material as there is now. It was literally sending CDs and tapes out to people and trying to get a gig. So we sort of, we clawed our way onto the local scene. And at the time, that was a band which consisted of me, Ant Wright, Neil Jeffries, and Cy Hill, who was on bass. Cy was then the first one to go. And then we brought in Rich Corrie on bass. He's still with us today. And yeah, that was then the band that went forward for a couple of years. And we got our sort of cut our teeth on the local scene, and then started to branch around. And we found a good scene in Camden as well. Okay. And we learned a lot in Camden. We learned how to, I know the theme of this interview is going to be this, but we learned how to dress. And As much,
the salmon short to be found.
we're taking Stan down Camden next week just to show him around, just to sort of, yeah. So yeah, that's where we were going, and then Neil, the original drummer, he left, and we brought in Stu Adams on drums, and then that was the lineup that went through right till the album released.
Right.
And that was the one that recorded the album, and then we subsequently signed a deal with a company who monumentally screwed us over, and then that was the end of that.
Okay.
So that was that all got a little bit sort of there was a bit, fallings out, and you can't play gigs here, you can't promote this, you can't do that, and we were handcuffed at the time, and we all got frustrated with the situation because we thought we'd finally got some recognition for it.
Yeah.
Our album had come out, The Right Side of Crazy was out, it was out on CD, it was in HMV. That was it. That's it. We're famous now. And then it all just kind of just tumbled down under this sort of very bizarre management. I remember one example, we tried to book a gig. I think it was in Liverpool, at the Zanzibar in Liverpool. And we were told we couldn't play it because we hadn't promoted it. We weren't promoted enough. We needed to be over promoting it. It was just a nightmare towards the end. And we subsequently just sort of stopped playing. We kind of fell out with the love of playing, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then we sort of called it a day, and we played a couple of final gigs, and then that was it. And joined a band called the Black Hounds, and they're still going today. Stu, the drummer, he stopped playing. He decided to have 4 kids, so that was the end of his musical aspirations. And then that was
that feeling.
that was left with me and Rich. And me and Rich, and we just sort of spent so long trying to figure out how we were going to sort of come back, what we were going to do. Do you still want to play? It's been 9 years. The scene and everything around it's changed so much.
Yeah.
And of course, we were coming back with the idea of what we'd left behind before. So it had to be of the same, if not better, standard as well. Otherwise, there was no point doing it, really. And that's when we had to put this shopping list together of the new breed, the new lineup. Obviously, with our characteristic frontman. This is what we're putting our hopes on now.
No pressure, then, Stan.
No, these bright red shoulders.
Well, I have heard him sing, and he's not bad.
He's okay. He's all right.
He's okay. He's pretty good.
When he remembers when he remembers the words, he's sound. Yeah.
Okay. It's a lot of words.
There's a bit of a North Midland divide here, isn't there? Because I put too many words in songs, and he can't get them all out. So I find my songs are getting cut down into. Hang on a second. There's another bit in this. No, I'm not singing that. I'm not singing that.
He uses a lot of syllables. He's got a much faster tongue than I have.
Right.
So I'm like, how do you fit all them words in that space? And he's like, well, you just do it. And then he'll look at me, and I'll look at him, and we'll be rehearsing, and he'll be singing the words. And I'm like, nah. They're not coming out past these teeth. They've got no chance. So I dumb it down a little bit. I make it a little more.
We've got a track called Rock and Roller, and there's a couple that is basically one of the ones where he's like, I'm not singing all that. It's not going to happen. And I just looked at it. I thought he was joking, and he was like, no, I ain't singing all that. So I've been listening carefully the last couple of weeks. He's been trimming my songs down, yeah.
Good job you're not paid by the word, fella?
But that's it. I like long drawn out, long open vowels.
So how did you find him?
Him?
Yes.
Them.
I think did we put something out on? What did we put it out on? We put it out on Facebook, I think.
Facebook video.
The problem we had was we had too many people who were trying to replicate the old singer, who were trying to replicate Ant's voice. Which, if you listen to it, is that sort of gravelly, but he can also land some pretty, high notes. And we had too many people who were trying to sort of sing the same, but getting it completely wrong, because it's a tricky sort of thing to measure, isn't it? You know, sing the way you sing, and then if it fits the band, then we'll bring you in and rehearse. And there was this sort of this range of people. I mean, we had a lot of people who can't sing in key. You know, that's not what we're after. And I remember sitting there the one night with Rich and Neil, the other guitarist, and it was like, we're never going to find a guy to front up the band, because it's a tricky job, because you've got to stand there and you know you've got to have something about you. You know, hence our kid over there. And yeah, Stan sort of stepped up and said, you know, give me a shot. So we brought him in all the way down the A38 to Wolverhampton. Well, Cannock actually, yeah. And he comes in, and yeah, he's done all right, man. He's done okay, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I've seen him on Slow Mo 75 with the guitar as well, and
yeah,
he's not bad.
He's not bad.
No, I don't want to say too much because I know the fella, and I'm just not going to hear the end of it.
Yeah, don't inflate the ego too much. But he's
this is it.
Yeah, well, he said to us it's his first time playing without guitar and being up front, you know, solely as a frontman of a rock band.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've got a gig coming up on the 20th of October. I think he's just going to flick a switch and change overnight. He's just going to be this, you know, nightmare on stage. He's running up and down, bouncing around, and won't be able to control him.
Yeah,
like the others, I think they're going to change as well.
Yeah, it's like a load of kids in eye bounce, isn't it? Really, just
yeah, just pull the ripcord out and whee, you go. Yeah.
So this gig, you've mentioned a gig. You've got a comeback gig.
Yes, we've got a comeback gig at the Giffard Arms in Wolverhampton on the 20th of October. It took some sort of deliberating where we were going to have this gig, because it kind of means something, because it's a comeback gig, you know, and there's a bit of anticipation about, you know, what it's going to look like, what it's going to sound like. We had a couple of offers from some local venues. Too many good venues have shut down around us as well.
Right.
And it's a shame, because you know, there used to be a really good live scene in and around, you know, Wolves and stuff. So we've lost too many venues since, of course, you know, COVID and whatnot. So we decided to go with the Giffard Arms. It's a nice room. It's a nice sort of intimate venue. And that's kind of the atmosphere I wanted to create. I wanted it to be, you know, packed in, and just no big stage or anything like that. Let's just, you know, balls to the wall. Let's go and have it, and, you know, put on a good show. And the same with the support acts, or you know, the other bands that are on as well. Sort of carefully, I mean, My Great Affliction and Mantis, who are with us, they've been with us, you know, back in the day as well.
Okay.
So it's almost a bit of a nostalgia trip for those guys as well. So, you know, it's going to be a cracking night, to be fair.
So Stan, what's your take on all this? I mean,
Uh-oh.
Yeah. He's just crossed his arms in anticipation.
Here we go. So.
No, it's all good. I jokingly, I won't travel an hour each way to go to rehearsal every week if I weren't really enjoying myself.
Right.
Yeah, I came on board, and I like, from the offset, just like what Mike said, there were no way I was going to deliver a vocal like what Ant did. It would be, I could pull off a half-arsed version of it, yeah, but that's not who I am. It's not how I sing. And certainly, if you were to look further down the road once we start writing, it wouldn't be how I wrote. So there were no point trying to do exactly what a lot of other people had done. So, like, in my opening sort of gambit, when I dropped him a message and said I'd like to come and have a go, I said, I like the stuff, I've listened to the stuff, I can do it, but I won't do it like that. So if you're happy, then we'll go. And so, yeah, they were like, yeah, but as long as you, just exactly what I said, as long as you do it right, do as you please. And so, yeah, and then come down. And I think one of the crucial things that has made it work is the banter, the ribbing, the non-stop. I mean, it's as soon as you walk, I mean, that's, you well know, Dave, that's the person I am.
Yeah.
I ain't got I don't know. I ain't got a nice thing to say to anybody. It's always a piss take, and it's always a ribbing. But I ended up getting in a band with like-minded individuals. So
God help us all.
Yeah. So it is. I like that. That's important. I think anyone that's in any band, you've interviewed thousands of bands, haven't you? And I dare say all of them would say.
Thousands is stretching it, but yeah.
All of them would say, as much as the music is important, like for I don't know, 70% of it, that remaining 30 has got to be the relationships in that band, because you can't be in a band with people and not, share humor, share interests. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the overall chemistry of the whole.
Of course it is. Yeah.
I think that comes across on stage as well. I think if you come across like you're in it, you're enjoying it, everyone else is involved as well, and you bring them along with you. If you stand still, look down, bored, everyone's been in the crowd and you want to be entertained.
Yeah.
And I think, the way you sort of project yourselves, and it's not putting on an act. That's the thing, isn't it? It's the way we are. That kind of banter will translate onto stage as well, just with a few more lagers.
Cider before gig.
Okay, so after the comeback gig, what is in the pipeline with you guys?
Go on. No, on you. Go on, son.
Don't fight amongst yourselves.
Yeah. You're like, well, there'll be words after, don't you worry. From him to me, don't you speak out of turn again. So we're in the studio come December.
Yeah.
We've reworked a track from the album. It was on the album, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Last track on the album. Yeah.
We've reworked a track on the album. We sort of like, one of the things that like Mike had said to us was, we've got these couple of new lads. There's three of us. There's me, Neil, and Gaz. And he wanted us to.
Hang on, Stan. You best talk about Neil a bit, because he's probably going to watch this, and there hasn't been enough Neil yet, as they say.
Neil, he'll get upset. Yeah. So we needed to get Neil to write some more bits to a song. Neil, we're talking about now, Neil.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Neil.
The guitar.
So yeah.
So we just took a song, and and I liked the song, and I liked the feel, the groove, and I just fancied having a go. When I was listening to it in the car, I could hear another rhythm, I could hear another melody,
right?
And I thought, so I was sort of like doing my bit to it, and then I said, look, I've got an idea, and you had already said, like, have a go at something. If you want to change something, we'll do something. So I was like, yeah, I've got a melody for this. So I did a rough, like, iPad recording. Do you know what I mean? Just set up, and I just jammed this riff, sung this part, sent it to the lads, and they were like, yeah, we like that. So then I did a slightly better version, and Neil, that's the guitarist, Neil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He recorded the track at home, because he's got like home studio stuff, hasn't he? So he sort of redid the track, tweaked a little bit, put an extra little riff in it, shortened a little break in it, just tweaked it, you know what I mean? Put his stamp on it. And then I recorded over that, and we were like, let's take that to the studio then and do a little release. Because we've been that busy rehearsing for this comeback gig, because it's important to Mike and Rich for their nostalgia, but it's equally as important for me, Neil, that's Neil, and Gaz, to really make our impact. Do you know what I mean? This is the first time we're stepping on stage under the umbrella of the Whiskey Syndicate. There's going to be a lot of people, especially going back to what I was saying about me not sounding anything like what Ant sounds like. So I'm very conscious, I'm very aware that I've got to bring my A game, because I've got to not only impress these people, but for them to think, yeah, it's different, but it's good different.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not looking for a, oh, he's so much better. Oh no, he's so much better. I'm not interested in that. And I'm sure Ant's not interested in that. I mean, I've never met him. I'm going to meet him at the gig. But there's none of that involved. With different entities. I just want people to say, good effort, cracking. Do you know what I mean? And so that they're like, yeah, that band's still got it. The old guys have still got it, and the new guys are bringing it. And so we do pick up on some of that previous momentum and some of that previous sort of like.
It's straight in as well. I mean, there's no tune-up gig. There's no sort of warm-up. It's literally straight in, sold out Gifford. You know, for the three new lads, it's like a baptism of fire. It's like, here you go. This is what it's going to be like. So it's going to be interesting because the one thing, what we've spent so much time in rehearsal, you can't sort of you can't teach, coach, or anything to do with ego or stage presence, can you?
No.
So it's how you deal with that situation, and I'm only gonna know on the night from the guys around me how they sort of like respond to that. I kind of know how they're going to respond to it, because there's no way you can just not. You take that energy in off the guys who are there, and you're like, yeah, okay, this is going to go off, and it will go off, you know. And that's what I'm looking forward to, is just seeing the release of all the hard work we've put in since, like, probably, I don't know, April, May, something like that, when we started putting it all together. And like Stan said with the new track, because they've spent so long learning the old stuff,
yeah,
it's really important to get them involved in something that's now ours, as what our band is now. And I said to Stan almost from the outset, I said, listen, I want you to take one of the tracks, and I just want you to do something different with it. You know what? He said, is there any that I can't touch? I said, well, there's a couple that, you know, they're sacred, but here's, you know, do something with these. And I think they buy into it more. When I say the three new lads buy into it more when they're actually involved, not as he calls it, karaoke. I'm playing Whiskey Syndicate karaoke because I'm going boom, 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 you know. Yeah. And that's, you see the difference. Like, I've seen the difference in the way he sings that track, because it's his, you know, and that makes that, yeah. I can't wait to write stuff with the new guys as well. It's going to sound completely fresh, you know.
Brilliant. So let's wrap it up there. The gig itself is on the 20th of October.
Yeah.
At the Giffard
Arms, Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
Doors are at 7:30. Don't risk paying on them.
And what about, you mentioned hoodies, you know, have you got some new merch as well?
Yes, we have.
Yeah. He'll be decked out in it on the night, won't he? He'll have the mug, the baseball cap, the hoodie.
All whiskey, all syndicate, all 5'10", glorious bits of it.
We haven't got a line in loungewear shorts yet, though, so we're working on that.
We're working on that. Oh, trust me,
it'll come next summer.
Yeah,
guys.
Yeah, just if you find us on a social, we're plugging that at the minute. That's one of the next pushes. It's the line. So it's all the caps, mugs, t-shirts, you know, whips, chains, handcuffs.
Balloons for the kids.
Oh my God. Okay. Thank you guys so much. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and I wish you all the very best for the future. I think, yeah, knowing a certain individual like I do, I think you've made the right choice.
Yes.
And I think only good things are going to happen.
Definitely. Definitely.
Whiskey Syndicate, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.